under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511 by tender of payment 2 and 3.
It's not applicable to this case.
And could you tell me why, Your Honor?
Because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance. Sir?
Yes.
All right, folks. Buckle up, because today's courtroom moment comes straight out of Michigan, and it's a full-blown sovereign citizen squatter special. This guy walks into Judge Simpson's courtroom acting like he just cracked the secret code to the legal system, trying to use the Uniform Commercial Code as his shield against paying rent. Yeah, you heard that right. He's arguing that the UCC somehow makes his fake cashier's check valid currency. Now, if you've ever dealt with a landlord, you already know where this is going. Judge Simpson, he's not playing games. The man's all business, and he's about to hand this guy a one-way ticket back to reality. So here's how it starts. The case is simple. Non-payment of...
What's your name, sir? What is the claim in this case?
Judge, this is a non-payment of rent action with a money judgment being requested as well. I'm showing that rent is due in the amount of $1,588, court costs of $217 for a total rent retained of $1,805.
And sir?
Yes.
How do you intend upon paying this?
So, Your Honor, I actually tendered payment to Group 5 management on November 3rd. And my form of payment was refused.
Was what?
My form of payment, she refused payment.
What was your form of payment?
A cashier's check. I actually have the voided check here. And I'm asking for...
You had a...
Yes.
Cashier's check? Let me see.
If this is also the refusal in the email from the landlord. All right.
Danny, do you know anything about the refusal of payment?
I do not, Judge. Obviously, I'm standing in for Mr. Weiss. I believe my client or the client was supposed to be on. My understanding was that it wasn't a cashier's check. It was a counter or a check. And the reason it would have been refused was because he's had more than 3 checks come back as insufficient funds. But I would ask if I don't see if he's on here, Judge.
From Randolph Court or Group 5 on the Zoom? We don't have anybody checked in.
We don't.
Email.
Judge.
Hang on, Ms. Zane. He has an email saying about the refusal. Well, it's a text message screenshot.
Yes, it's an email. I actually screenshotted it.
Rent. The landlord's asking for $1,588 plus court costs.
From a somebody with the last name of Aslam, ASLAM, indicating that they received a rent check in the sum of $1,238, which the check that he showed me was in that, in the form of an over-the-counter check. However, must be certified funds. And then, second page, as the system will not accept this, maybe. But
yeah, Judge, my notes on the ledger show counter check, which is a check that's not. It's one of the ones they give you from the bank, and so again, that's the position I was taking, anyways. It was refused.
So, sir,
yes.
Is there a reason why you can't get certified funds to the landlord?
Well, they actually accepted December's rent from the same check, Your Honor, from my bank.
Okay, but if...
Well, because it costs. And my defense is that under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511, by tender of payment, 2 and 3.
It's not applicable to this case.
And could you tell me why, Your Honor?
Because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
I'm sorry?
The UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
It's a commercial transaction, Your Honor.
The UCC does not apply.
Okay. So where could I find this at that says that this isn't a commercial transaction?
That would be your assertion. I'm telling you it doesn't apply to this.
Just for my understanding that the Uniform Commercial Code governs all commercial transactions in commerce. And so based off of this law, tender of payment is why my defense is that once the tender of payment was refused, at that time, the charge or the total amount was discharged.
Even if you were to do that analysis, you can't then have unjust enrichment, which means that you want to move.
I'm sorry.
You can't have unjust enrichment, so you'd have to move because you can't have the apartment and not pay.
No, I mean, I paid the rent. They took the exact form.
The judge asks, how do you plan on paying this? And our guy proudly says he already tendered payment. But get this, his payment was refused. When pressed, he whips out a cashier's check he claims was voided by the landlord. Except turns out it wasn't a cashier's check at all. It was a counter check, the kind banks hand you when you don't have your real checks yet. And apparently this guy's bounced more checks than a rubber ball. The landlord's attorney calmly explains why they refused it. Because after 3 bad checks, no one's taking his paper seriously anymore. Then comes the meltdown moment. The judge patiently explains that only certified funds, real money, will count. But this guy digs in deeper, spouting UCC codes like he's auditioning for a YouTube conspiracy channel. He insists that under UC 442511, tender of payment means his obligation is fulfilled. Judge Simpson shuts that down immediately, saying, the UCCC doesn't apply here, sir. But our guy keeps going, saying, it's a commercial transaction. The judge doesn't even blink. He tells him flat out.
Are you going to tender a check or no? Or certified funds to them?
I'll tender payment.
Are you going to tender certified funds for the 1805?
So, Your Honor, my rent is $1,238, and just the extra $700, $600. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but if they accepted the rent payment and from my bank in December, I'm sure I don't know why they wouldn't accept it now. They refused November and then they accepted December.
Sir?
Yes.
I'm asking a very simple question.
Yeah.
Are you going to tender certified funds to them in the amount of 1805?
I will surrender. I will submit funds.
Certified funds to them.
I plan to. It costs me to do certified, so I would.
As does the NSF transactions that they've had in the past. So that is my question to you. Are you going to submit certified funds?
I'll submit certified funds
in the amount of 1805.
I like to debate that amount because I'm not sure where that amount's coming from. My rent is $1,238. In court costs, I'm not sure what the other $600.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Defendant to submit $1,238, which at this point is the undisputed amount in certified funds to the landlord no later than December 29th, 2023. And then we will look at the disputed amounts. I will adjourn this matter to January 5th, 2024 at 2 p.m. And I would just note to you, Mr. Smith, that if those funds aren't in, I'm not hearing any additional argument. I will be granting a judgment, which will be for their full amount, plus what will at that point be January's rent.
Your Honor, also, the 4th I have to work. So every time that I'm coming here, I'm having to take off of work. And
Sir, I cannot help that.
I mean, is there a way that we can set a different date?
That is my next day.
Okay.
Thank you.
It doesn't apply to this circumstance. You can feel the room just sigh in collective exhaustion. And honestly, I kind of get it. Times are tough. Not being able to afford rent is rough. We've all been through something. But let's be real. There's a big difference between struggling and trying to Jedi mind trick your landlord with fake paperwork. Like, imagine walking in with a made-up cashier's check and acting shocked when they don't take it. These sovereign citizens are in their own little world, and it's wild to watch them think they're winning when they're clearly sinking deeper. So, Judge Simpson tries to cut through the nonsense. He asks one last time, "Are you going to pay in certified funds or not?" And this guy still won't give a straight answer. He keeps arguing about how he shouldn't have to pay the extra court fees and how the amount doesn't match his calculations. But eventually, after the judge pins him down for the third time, he finally says he'll submit certified funds, but then immediately starts debating the amount again. You can almost see the judge's patience evaporating. At this point, Judge Simpson makes it crystal clear. He orders the defendant to pay $1,038, the undisputed rent amount, in certified funds, by December 29th, or else it's game over. He even gives the guy another hearing date in January, but warns him if the money's not paid, he's granting judgment for the full amount, plus January's rent. The guy then tries to argue about missing work because of court, but the judge shuts that down, too. It's not optional. When you owe rent, you show up. Period. And honestly, I can't help but laugh a little here because you know this guy's going to be back in court saying, "But Your Honor, I gave them a paper that said $1,200 on it." Like, sir, that's not how money works. You can't just invent your own currency and expect the court to play along under U.S. law, specifically 18 U.S. Code 514. Passing fake financial instruments is a federal offense. That's not just a fine or a slap on the wrist. That's a see you in federal prison type of deal. But here's what gets me. Why is it always Michigan? I swear every week there's another sovereign citizen from there trying to outsmart the legal system with a YouTube degree and nonsense. Like, is there something in the water? Are they handing out lawyer in your mind flyers on every street corner? Because this stuff is getting out of control. Every viral courtroom meltdown either starts with "I don't consent" or ends with "you have no jurisdiction." And it's always Michigan. Anyway, Judge Simpson handled this one like a pro, calm, firm, and completely unbothered by the circus act in front of him. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was the judge fair? Or should squatters like this face even tougher penalties? Either way, one thing's for sure, you can't pay rent with fake checks and UCCC codes. Reality always wins in the end.